Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to our channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. My name is Nicole and I'm a person in recovery, and my sobriety date is July 13th of 2015. And today we're going to have a special guest speaker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of let everybody get in here. And I'm going to be working on this end, sharing the video out. So I hope you guys don't mind. I'm going to be a little quiet, but if y'all don't mind, just come on in and, you know, greet your neighbor, give each other some support, say hi to your friends, all that good stuff. So let me, in fact, hey Sky, hey Victoria. I met Kree on Instagram and I have just followed her for over a year now. And she is super inspirational, very beautiful, super smart. And I was looking for people to come share their stories. And I had reached out to her and we've been trying to link up forever. But y'all know me, I'm Hot Mess Express. And so one time I thought we had scheduled her and then I didn't know if we had done it or not. But anyways, we got her coming on tonight. So I'm going to be sharing the video and you guys just talk amongst each other while I get this done. And I'm a part of a bunch of groups on Facebook. But just recently I was made an admin of a Facebook group in the MAC community, which I'm so happy because I'm trying to just help spread awareness and support, so hopefully that will help. Hey Nancy, I've been doing good. What about you, honey? Hello. Hello. Okay, call me back. All right, all right, bye. Okay, I didn't think I had shared it here. Hey Merk, what's up? Just so you guys know, I am sharing. Hold on, I'm sorry. I'm gonna get focused. I wanted to share this real fast. One more group, and then I'll focus on. Cause we gotta get the word out to everybody out there. Bum, 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 bum. We gotta spread the word that recovery is possible. Bum, 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 bum. A lot of people be saying that we cannot recover. Bum, 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 bum. But we're here to show them that we're changing our damn lives. Bum, ba-da, ba-da-da. Okay. Enough of all that. I'm literally sitting beside a bucket because my ceiling is leaking. Do not judge me. You love my song? I just made it. I just wrote it. I wrote it all by myself. No, you guys, I have been on TikTok First of all, I just have to say something right now. TikTok is going to be the death of me, all right? That is a whole nother world over there, you guys. It is a whole nother world. Okay, so it's a whole nother world on TikTok. Let me just explain to you guys. Hey, Booger Brains, what's up? Did you love my exposed video, Booger Brains? I was totally exposed in that video, wasn't I? Hey, Addicted Mind. I mean, Brian, I don't know if you want me to say your name on here or not. 2 crab cakes and green beans for dinner. That is good, Victoria. I'm so proud of you, girl. And you've been walking the dogs. I'll tell you what I had, girl. I had a Baja chicken wrap and a kale and apple salad. So we're both on the healthy tip today. Now, let me just stay on the healthy tip, y'all, because it could change tomorrow. Booger Brains. I know. Aren't you just tripping over here? You came over here and you're like, I have been totally exposed. The jig is up. Y'all all know I'm such a terrible person. Just so you guys know, actually tonight we're going to have a special guest speaker and she's going to come and share her story. And so she's really nervous though. Let me just tell you guys, okay? Okay, cool. She's really nervous, so we're going to get, when we get started and she comes on, just bear with us because I know she's just a little nervous, okay? But you know, everybody's nervous when they first come on. I'm a ham and a half. I have been doing live stream videos for 3 years now, so it is nothing to me to come on here and dance around and be laughing and making up songs. But, you know, when you've never done this, it's scary, you know? Hey, Shelly. 5 sweet potato pies. That sounds delicious. Hey, Erin. Oh, that's what I was telling you guys. So these people on TikTok, you guys, yes, you can. I finally caved and did a dance on TikTok, and I cannot believe I did it. You want me to heat it up?
Did you suck at it?
I did suck at it. I sucked at the dance. But I did it. I was over there like shaking it. Shake it fast. Watch yourself. Shake it fast. Show me what you're working with.
Oh, by the way,
shake it fast.
Oh yeah, 2 people like teamed up on me, even though they're supposed to kill each other. They teamed up on me trying to snipe me.
They did.
Yeah, and one dude had a rare legendary sniper, and the other dude had just like Tony Stark's little gun thing, not his like holster, not the ones that come out of his hand. It's a little laser gun.
Oh, well, did you win?
No, I got sniped.
Nate speaks the truth. Well, he knows. Look at me, you guys. We were in his room, and I was like, because I didn't want Neil to see me trying to do the damn dance. And so I went into his room, and I've probably restarted the video 4 or 5 times because I was like, I'm not like I used to be. When I was young and I was skinny, girl, I could bust it out like for real. But now I feel like I'm in like the geriatric ward or something. Reaction Rookie said, "That's okay, Nicole. I did a freestyle rap on one of my videos. Sometimes we have to step out of our comfort zone and not care what anyone thinks." Yes. So that was a huge thing for me because like everybody on there will do these dances and then they duet each other, right? And so they've all been tagging me and trying to get me to participate in the dances, and I was too embarrassed to do it. Hey, Joe. And so finally I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. And you know what? It was probably make me feel skinnier just by working out. Oh no. Oh crap. Hold on, guys. Do you have what is that browser called? Chrome. Chrome. The devil is trying us today, y'all. Des, when I tell you guys, like I was huffing and puffing, just going like this, and then trying to twerk. If Kree can't make it on, it's because we're having technical difficulties, you guys. But we're gonna get her on. If she can't make, let me go in and tell her. Hey, girl, I totally understand if it's giving you problem. Oh, there you are! Yay! Okay, hold on, girl. I'm gonna bring you on. Are you ready?
Help me. Can you see me? Oh,
Hold on.
hi.
I can see you.
Okay.
Are you? I told everybody, listen, this is the chillest, like laid back, recovery kind of interview you'll ever do in your life.
Okay.
Everybody here is so awesome and amazing. I told everybody that you were a little nervous. I said she's a little bit nervous, so everybody bear with her when she first gets here. But honestly, it's just going to be like you're telling me your story. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Okay, girl. So first of all, I call you Kree because I know you from Instagram. Is that what you want me to call you to everybody else?
Yeah, I go by Kree. Yeah.
Okay. So tell us a little bit. This is what I like to do. Okay. So at the beginning, first of all, you know how when you have you ever been to like a AA or NA meeting?
I don't really do AA. I've been to a couple of meetings. Um, so I'm not really a big
Well,
AA person.
I'm not either. So,
Okay.
but they have a the way they do it when they share their story is they tell what it was like when they were growing up before their addiction or alcoholism ever started,
Mm-hmm.
and then what happened where they started transitioning into drinking or using, and then what their life is like now. So, if you don't mind, could you start out and tell us a little bit about like what your childhood was like?
Oh wow. Whew. I don't even know where to start with that. I am the only child. Um, Single parent. I spent a lot of time alone. My mom had to work. She worked constantly. So actually at 8 years old, I was cooking full course meals, doing laundry, homework. I was basically a latchkey kid, where
Yeah,
go home, you have your key and you do everything and your parents not home. Kids don't do that now. Can't do that anymore.
right.
Um, um, I think I was alone a lot. I do have some trauma as far as being molested, some physical abuse, not from my mother, from a step parent.
Mhm.
And I think insecurities, and I would say boredom, and also partying a lot. That's where it started. The drinking at 16, partying a lot, going to house parties and just drinking a lot.
So you
And
were you were so your mom trusted you though to be at home and to to do all those things when you were young, to go in the house, take care of yourself, make your food. So you were like super independent from a young age.
I was very independent. I was a good kid. I never ran away. My mom trusted me. I never lied. I straight A student. Um, it's like when I got to high school, I don't know what went wrong there, but I was always kind of an angry child.
Mhm.
I fought a lot. I didn't know why. But when I think of it now, I think it was because I was missing a father role. Now that I
Yeah.
know that I'm healing, I missed having a dad. I had a stepdad, but he wasn't in the household and he did not like me.
Yeah.
And he treated me really bad. Um, on his deathbed, he apologized to me. And I think that's when it got a little better for me, but the drinking still didn't stop for me. I was still
Dang.
missing that male role model. I needed that. And that's why I was picking wrong men, I think. Looking for love in all the wrong places type of thing.
Oh my God, I did the same exact thing. And whenever we
Mm-hmm.
have people on, especially women, like we all get to this point in the conversation where it's like, I started dating this guy and then,
Yeah.
you know,
Really. Really.
and then this happened, and then I decided to move him into my house. So, can you remember the first relationship that you got into where things started kind of going to the left?
I've always, for as long as I've known, this is crazy too. I've always had a boyfriend all the time. This is the longest I think the longest I've been without a man is probably 7 years, but I've always had a boyfriend. I've been married twice. Both were narcs. Both were military men. And one was very, very physical abusive, and both were emotional abusive, and one I was raped by my husband, but I didn't think it was rape then because it was my husband. So
Right, right.
that added to my trauma. He was a horrible, horrible man. He's the one that triggered my chronic severe depression, and that's when my PTSD was triggered. He left me in bad shape, very bad
I
shape.
was
Go ahead.
I went through a relationship where I was beat too, just so you know. And so when I think back on that time, and tell me if you feel the same way, I wouldn't leave because he made me feel like I couldn't do any better. Like
Mm,
this was what my life was meant to be. My life was meant to be this guy beating me every day and me just bowing down to his every whim.
yeah, yeah. It's like no self worth. Nobody. He'll tell me nobody wants you. It was horrible. Locking me in rooms, just very. It was very scary. A very dark place. Nobody believed me. Um, I've had over from that marriage. I had 4 trips to the psych ward on top of the drinking. That's where that my sanity was just gone. It was like I've
Yeah,
given up. That abuse can take you to a whole nother level. Very
yeah.
scary. Very scary.
Because you
Um,
start thinking that because people aren't believing you. You're telling everybody and they're saying, oh, surely that's not happening.
yeah.
And it's like you start questioning, well, is
Mm-hmm.
it happening? I know I have totally been there
Yeah.
where he would hide things from me. And then I would know where I put, let's say, like my keys. I
Yeah.
would know I put my keys on the dresser. And I would go to the dresser to get them. And he'd say, they're not there. You didn't put them there. And he
Sick.
would watch me go around looking for them and then
Yeah.
tell me, you're just crazy. You're just crazy. Oh,
It's like a sick game, like a cat and mouse. Yeah. I went through that over years of that, and that made me lose my sanity. It was crazy. Um, I had flashbacks from that for a long time,
yeah.
and I think that's a drinking, trying to cover that up, and then get married again and go through the same thing. It's like I kept doing the same thing over and over again, like Groundhog Day, and I'm like, why do I keep doing the same thing? What's wrong? I had to start looking at me. I'm like, okay, I know these men are not right, but what's wrong with me because I keep accepting this? I
Right.
got to know my worth. Something is wrong with me because I keep picking these men, and there's something wrong with that. That why do I think this is okay? I would make so many excuses. Oh, he loves me. I'll just change him. He'll be better. As long as I do this, he'll be okay with me. And I'm walking on eggshells. And it was insane.
When did you
Insane.
realize when did you realize that your drinking was when okay, so everybody when they start drinking or using drugs, they start crossing over that imaginary line where they're not using because they enjoy it and they're relaxing anymore. They're drinking because they have to drink to function. When
Mm.
did you realize that you were crossing that line?
Oh, I realized that when I was missing work and wanting to stay home just to drink all the time. I wouldn't go to work. I wouldn't get out the bed. I wasn't taking care of my kids the way I should. I was like a walking shell, like just existing.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted was to drink, 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 drink. That's all I did. It was, yeah.
What kind of
And at
alcohol
that
did you
point, I
drink?
knew I wanted to stop, but I couldn't.
Mhm.
You know, I tried. I tried so many times. I would say, okay, this is the last one. After I have this, you know, I'm not going to do this anymore. And I'd go a day or two, maybe a day or two, and then it got to, okay, I won't drink again, and it'd be 2 hours that passed. I'm like, oh, just let me have one more. Then it got to where I just couldn't stop. So I knew then that I couldn't stop, but I didn't know how, and nobody knew. So I hid that like that for a very, very long time.
Like from your significant others and your mom? Did she
Um,
know?
my mom knew, but I don't think she knew how bad it was. She didn't
Yeah.
know how to deal with it. I think that's why she worked a lot. She didn't want to deal with it. Um, my mom drank, but I think it was more on a functionable. You know how you have people that function, like she never missed work. She didn't have hangovers. So they
Yeah.
don't say they're alcoholics, but they function.
Right. Like I don't understand those people because
Me
if I'm
either.
drinking, I'm off the chain.
Yeah. And I don't want to go anywhere. I want to stay stuck on a couch or something, and I want to drink. I'm not going to be driving going to work. I don't even want to go to the store again. I'm going to buy a whole bunch at the store so I don't have to leave my house type of thing.
Yes. Yeah.
You know? So that's
I totally relate to that. Like I
yeah.
remember just starting to drink when I was a teenager. I was like 17 and I loved getting drunk from the day I drank my first beer.
Mm-hmm.
Then I started drinking this E&J VSOP
Oh.
brandy with Mountain Dew, girl, and I would take that and then I'd chase it with some Mountain Dew, and I loved to be out of control. I loved feeling just like woo, it made me feel
The
like I
pain was
had,
gone. Mm-hmm.
yes, and I felt like I had more confidence. I
Yep.
felt like I was more fun, but really
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't any of those things. But alcohol made me believe that I was. It was a
Mm-hmm.
delusion.
Right.
Right.
Right. It's it starts out, I don't know how it was for you, but I was drinking a lot. One of the trips when I had went to the psych ward, and I called them because I knew I was just so drunk and out of it. And when I got there, my alcohol level was 3 point something. I should have been dead.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just I still can't believe that I'm here because I drank so much. And sometimes I would drink and it started out fun, but then I'd end up crying, and then I'd get violent. I was
Yep.
I was an angry drunk after a while. And the whole household had to deal with that. And so now I've made amends with them, and now I'm working on that, making it's peaceful now. I'm a different person, but at the same time, they're still forgiving me for certain things because that's hard to come back from over 20 years of damage. It's very hard, especially with kids. They
How old were your
remember.
kids when you got sober?
I've only been sober almost 3 years, and
That's a long ass time.
yeah, but I'm 52, and my oldest are grown.
I know, but I can't believe you're 52. I thought you were like 36.
Thank
I'm
you.
telling you, and y'all please don't take this the wrong way, but this is so true. Black don't crack.
Black don't crack. No, it doesn't.
I cannot even, I really thought that I would have never in a million years, just so you know, never.
I just had my birthday. Yeah, 52. Yeah, black don't crack.
You could have said, I just turned 32 and I would not even have questioned you at all.
Yeah,
damn.
I drank over, that's why I said 2 decades. That's over 20 years. My oldest son is 32. They're 32, 25, and my youngest is 11. Now, the youngest has seen me drunk for a little while. Thank God.
Uh-huh.
He's not seen the whole thing, but the older two got the wrath. They've
Yep.
seen everything. And I kind of see the damage that I've done to them, the aftermath. The forgiveness is there, but that's a lot of damage that has, people don't understand when you live in a household with drug addicts or alcoholic, that damage is very bad. It has after effects. It really does.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
I'm still making up to my mom and dad all the pain that I caused them.
Mm-hmm.
And even when I think about it or I watch somebody else who is a mother of somebody who's an addict, I hear the mom and I think of my mom and I think of my
Mm-hmm.
dad and how they felt.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how did you get sober? Did you go to rehab?
Um,
What did you do?
I didn't go to rehab. I was living in Vegas for the last almost 10 years. And so me and my husband, we drink a lot. He was also on meth. And that's another whole thing, living
Did
with
you ever try
somebody
it?
on the heck no.
Good.
Only thing I've done was drinking, and that's also a drug, but I was too scared seeing how it affected people. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, and people were shocked because usually when you're with somebody, usually people will try something like that, but I was like, no, I'm good. And he never offered it, thank God. But
Yeah.
no,
Thank
I've
God.
never tried it. And we started arguing a lot drinking. First it would, we'd all be laughing and talking, and then it start turning into arguments. And so I started looking at him while he was drinking, and then it was like looking in the mirror. And I was like, gosh, is this what we're doing? Is this how I'm looking? And I'm drunk looking at him.
Yeah.
And I sobered up that quick, and I said to myself, I can't do this anymore. I'm not going to drink anymore because my son is in the room scared and we're arguing and my husband is throwing shit all over the place. This is very dysfunctional and it's scary.
Yeah.
And so I remember it was Super Bowl weekend 2018. And I drank on the Super Bowl and I told everybody the next day I said, I'm going to stop drinking. They're like, yeah, all right. The next day, that was the day I stopped and I didn't look back. But
What
he
did
was
it
still
feel like?
drinking.
Did you get sick?
I wasn't sick. When I was still drinking a year before that, I was tired of the alcohol. So I think I was building up to it. Like
Uh-huh.
I wasn't finishing the beers. I was getting disgusted with it. Then I was seeing my husband get extra drunk and I didn't want to argue with him. So I stopped kind of drinking around him. So I was kind of building up to it.
You were
Um,
tapering yourself off, kind of.
I was tapering myself off, and then I was when I had kind of stopped drinking around him, he would get crazy. So I knew it had to be a responsible parent in that household.
Right.
That's one reason, a big reason why I had to stop. Because then I had to deal with him acting crazy. And I'm like, damn, we were both in here like this. I was like, no, we can't do this. And that's when I stopped, and that's why I became sober. And I was on crutches that year for a whole year. I wasn't able to walk. I have 2 rods and 6 screws of titanium in my back dealing with all of this. And that's when I decided to leave. I said, I can't do this. So I left everything and I moved back to California with my mom. I couldn't live like that anymore. He wasn't
Yeah.
going to change. He kept saying he was going to stop. It was chaotic. And I said, I can't do this because I knew when I stopped drinking, if he didn't stop, it was going to clash. That marriage was not going to work like that. So
Yeah.
and it was
It
hard.
might have caused you to start drinking again, And
I thought
imagine
about that too. Yep.
getting all that sober time and then falling back. You know what? When you
Right.
say I had to be a responsible parent, like, that was God blessing you with that
Yep.
with that, for you to see that. Because when I was in my addiction, and I know for a long time, I didn't have the self-awareness or the wherewithal to pull myself to say, I've got to be a responsible parent. That's like that moment of clarity that the people talk about in recovery, where they
Right.
say, one day I just thought to myself, I've got to do this. It's like that is a gift that God gave to you to say, okay, this has got to change, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And because
Yep.
so many people don't ever have that moment where
No.
they can say, okay, I'm going to do this, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And with alcohol, I know it can be so dangerous and scary because you don't know how your body's going to respond once you take all the alcohol away, you know?
Right. Mm-hmm. I know because I drank so long, and to this day, I believe I do have some after effects as far as nerve damage.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was drinking, at first I was picky about what I drink, expensive wines and shit like that.
Yeah.
And then later, towards the end, I was drinking 211 because I just wanted to get drunk. And it was
Right.
cheap. It was cheap. And I don't know what it is about that malt liquor, but it will have you acting crazy. I'm surprised I didn't end up in jail. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I
Yeah.
would drink like 20 of those. And
Dang.
I'm a small person, and I was
Yeah.
just he was drinking that and I was drinking that, and it's like we were in this house and then he was doing the drugs with it. It was like a fuel on the fire type of thing. And I couldn't do it anymore. I was so tired of it, girl. And then he wasn't sleeping, and we were just up, and I'm drinking, and I'm stressed out. I was like, I can't live like this anymore. It's like this has to stop.
In the middle of
And
Las Vegas.
yep, I said I can't
Since
do it. And I literally stopped. He said the next day, and then the next week, he said, "You're really not drinking, huh?" I said, "No." I said, "I told you, I'm done. I'm
what did
over
your
it."
kids
And then
say? How did they react? Especially the littlest one. How did he? Is it a little boy or a little
it's a
girl?
boy, Cooper. He was the only one there because my other two are grown. They're in
Right.
California. So Cooper, he was very happy, and he was he had his own room, but he wanted to be in there with me because he was always so scared of the fighting, and I had stopped drinking. And when a person is on drugs, they go into rages.
Yeah.
And so that's how that household was. So he was around me because he felt safer. He was just like, "Mommy, I'm so glad you're not drinking anymore." And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, because it has to be a responsible, I got to look after, it has to be a responsible parent here. And not only that, anybody could be calling the cops. I'm not losing my child over anybody because I'm a
Yeah.
mother first. So that was my motivation to keep me strong. And I'm really surprised I didn't have a lot of cravings. I did feel a whole lot better. My mind just was clear as day. And then I just start seeing so much dysfunction. It's like my eyes were open, and I got the strength to leave because that was the hardest thing I ever had to do. I stayed because I was comfortable, and I didn't want to leave because that's all I knew. But I
Yep.
knew that I had to get that strength to get out of that comfort zone and get uncomfortable so I could get healthy. And that's what I did.
Dang. Like you don't understand. It's such a you're such a strong person because it's not very often that I have that people come on and they have been able to walk away like that. You know what I mean? Like I
Mm-hmm.
hear a lot of stories. You know how sometimes they say relapse can be a part of your recovery, and so that's I was a literal chronic relapser. I would relapse probably like
Okay.
10 or 15 times. And
Mm-hmm.
so you walked away and that was it. You never
I
went back.
walked away. I never went back because I don't know if it's because I was doing it for so long or I was just so tired. And when I was weaning myself, I just kept praying. I said, this is why I was still drinking. I said, God, just take the cravings from me. I'm tired of living like this. I don't want this alcohol anymore. And I don't know how to stop it. It was just, I constantly kept drinking, but I didn't want it. So I just kept praying. And then I chose that day. And that was it. And I stayed there for another almost a year, still not drinking. He was drinking and doing his drugs, and I was still not drinking. And then that's when I was like, I'm leaving. I can't stay here like this. And that was my husband, and I still love my husband, but I had to walk away. I had to do it for myself and for my kids. And I want to tell all women who go through this, and he was a narc. It's hard. It's still hard, but you can do it because it's so peaceful, and you can get that strength and walk away because you're a mother first. And even if you don't have kids, you got to know your self-worth and know that there's a better way to live than that. Nobody should have to live that way. Nobody, because it's a horrible way to live.
Absolutely. What do you do now that you're in recovery? Like, what do you do now to stay sober? Like, what's your everyday kind of activities? And are you, I think when I always look at your posts, I feel like, aren't you
Mhm.
going to college for something?
Oh no, I finished. I'm doing my internship now. Alcohol drug counselor, my internship, and
Yeah.
probably next year I want to do the master's program. I basically want to work, with domestic violence women with alcohol drug problems and with kids. My goal actually is to open up a house for domestic violent women with substance abuse problems and their kids. I want to be like an outreach because I've been homeless, I've slept in cars, I've been through the whole thing, so I know how it is. We're basically like the forgotten people. People don't like to
Yeah.
deal with homeless people or people on substances. They think we're just bums.
Right.
And it's a disease. It's a abuse disorder. Substance abuse disorder is a disease. It's like a
Yep.
cancer. And when people realize that, maybe we can get more help for that. So we got to, break that stigma because it is a disease. It
You
is.
have to meet. I don't know if you notice on my posts, but that I post Dr. B and I work for him, and he is a doctor in California who owns a treatment center called American Addiction Institute. And just if you could go hang out at the office with them and like be with them while they're treating people, like just to learn and stuff, he is amazing. And his philosophy and is to treat people with substance use disorder with respect and dignity. And we're trying to change, I'm even trying to change the way I speak about myself by
Right.
saying, my name's Nicole and I'm a person in recovery, and saying, instead of saying, hi, my name's Nicole and I'm an addict. Because
Right.
I have been trained for years to say addict because of the 12-step programs. But
Mm-hmm.
that's like a stigmatizing title in itself. And I never realized that. And so
Yeah.
since I started working with Dr. B, they have taught me so much, and I'm trying to learn how to, I want to help people as much as I can. And I want things to change to where we're treating addiction like it's a disease and not a moral
Right.
failing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you know, maybe because it's gone on so long, and I was discussing with somebody. We had a discussion about, okay, the whole rock bottom thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why does it have to be that way? Because it's not that way with cancer. It's not that way with diabetes or lupus. Like, okay, so if you have diabetes, we gotta wait till you go into diabetic shock, and then we'll give you some medicine. Like, why does a person have to hit rock bottom? Like, why can't they just get some help? Before, I understand they have to surrender to it, but like, let's start changing some things. And because people sometimes die before they get to rock bottom. So how do we
That,
stop that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do
right,
we do with
yeah.
that?
There needs to be more things available in the harm reduction aspect of things, like naltrexone or Vivitrol, or Antabuse, the
And
medication
abuse.
for
Right.
somebody that drinks. If somebody comes in and they're having a drinking problem and they're like, no, I'm not going to go to 30-day residential treatment, that's not my gig, da, 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 da. Here, let's treat it like we would treat somebody who has the flu or any other
Right.
disease, and let me give you this medication that will help block the effects. That, I'm a huge advocate for MAT, because it's, in my experience, it has saved my life. If I
Okay.
hadn't gotten on Suboxone for opiate addiction, I would
Mm-hmm.
be dead in the grave. Like,
Right.
and the purpose, my doctor's whole deal was to get me on the medication so that way I could gain the things I lost back in my life and see, wait a second, recovery is where I want to be now. I
Mm-hmm.
have turned everything around. I don't want to get high anymore. And that's the goal, is to get to a point where you don't want to get drunk or high anymore.
Right.
You know? But people
Right.
don't have that opportunity because they're craving and they
Mm-hmm.
don't have the support network. The
Right.
therapy is not available to them. And if
Mm-hmm.
they would make these medications and the therapy more readily available, like they do in Canada, they got free healthcare over there.
That's what I said. The same thing. I don't understand this because it is a disease. Like why is it getting treated any different when the medications are there? I've known people that now I do know a person that's taking it's not an abuse, but it's another drug, and they haven't drank in 7 months. Okay, so do that for everybody so we can get something under control. Because even
Yeah.
with this pandemic, people are dying. You know what I'm saying? So what do we do with that? So I don't understand that. It's crazy. I don't maybe like you said, it's like a moral thing with people, and it shouldn't be. You know?
And for the last, like, since the beginning of talking about sobriety, the only way that they have been teaching people to stay sober or get sober in these programs is through these 12-step models. Go into treatment for 30 days, come out, get a sponsor, go to meetings, work the steps. But that doesn't work for a lot of people.
Sure doesn't.
And that's the only way that they've really been making available. We're just now starting to cross over into a new generation where medically assisted treatment is being more accepted by the recovery community. Because
Right.
5 years ago, when I was talking about being sober on Suboxone, you would have thought that I was selling drugs on the side of the street, because people were
Yeah.
calling me a liar, saying I wasn't in recovery. And these were my own people,
And
other people in recovery,
I don't
you know?
understand. That's what I don't understand, because if you're taking that and that's keeping you from getting high and putting a needle in your arm, it's keeping you to where you can live a normal life. What's the problem? It's like you said, it's a sickness. It's like a cancer patient getting chemotherapy.
Chemotherapy.
You know what I'm saying?
And we
So
wouldn't deny somebody that. Would we deny a person that? Like,
right.
and so it really is, people have gotten it's the judgment and okay, so when you were growing up, and maybe your mom, maybe she raised you as a Baptist, and you guys went to Baptist church every single day. And then you get older and you marry a guy and he's Catholic, and he takes you to your first ever Catholic sermon. And you're like, oh, this is not right. This is not the way we are supposed to worship God. This is not Baptist. It's because that's the only way you were ever taught, was Baptist. And so
Right.
that's what's going on with people in the recovery community. They've only been taught one way. And so
Right.
it's so hard to deviate from that way and open their minds.
Mm-hmm.
But it's happening, and we're making a difference. I truly see it happening before our own eyes. People are more accepting of different pathways to recovery. Finally.
Thank God.
Finally.
Because if people can they do it with technology, they start accepting the upgrades. So why not accept upgrades with medication and addictions? It has to upgrade. It's not going to stay the same. You know what I
Right,
mean? Like,
right.
yeah. So I get what you're saying. I'm glad it's opening up a little more too. You know.
I'm so glad that you came on. I know that I know it's a little nerve-wracking because we haven't ever really got to talk, like, on the phone or anything, and it's
Yeah.
because I am so bad about checking my Instagram messages, but I love you and I love seeing your posts, and you're so like, I'm all about helping women and lifting each other up and supporting each other in recovery. And so I wanted you to come on so bad. And I'm so glad that you came on tonight and shared with us your story, because you are amazing.
Thank you. And thank you for having me on. I really, really appreciate it.
And now that you're more comfortable with the back and forth,
Mm-hmm.
now we can plan a part 2, and we can really plan, like, what we want to talk about. And, if we wanted, like, we could talk about anything. We could talk about what it's like to be moms in recovery. I have a little boy, he's 6.
Okay.
And I lost him when I was in my addiction for the first year, because I was using drugs while I was pregnant with him. And then when he turned 1, he got taken away from me.
Okay.
So we can talk about that kind of stuff. I mean, we could have a whole Dude, I love doing these videos. We can have a whole panel of women in recovery up here.
I would
You,
love
me, and
that.
2 other girls. I've even been trying to get with like some women that want to do like a podcast and create, because I
Oh,
am
that would be
consistent.
lovely.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
I
will.
would love that.
Whenever I say I'm going to do something, I will be there. And so, but
Right.
I haven't been able to find anybody who will follow through with me like I will, that will stick with me and do the podcast once a month. You know what I mean? So,
I would really love to do a once a month thing with you, and maybe we can maybe pick some. How many women did you want to do that with?
just, I mean, it could be you, me, and 2 other people, or it could just start out as you and me. But I am not very good at the podcasting world, but I know that um, it's fun. It's fun. I love listening to podcasts. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And you
Or
know,
we could even do it in the Facebook recovery community, or we could do it on Instagram Live.
that would be awesome. That would be
You
pretty
know,
cool
so
because
I have all kinds of
addictions.
ideas.
That's cool because you do have a lot of ideas, and I'm with you as far as getting the story out and just talking about addictions. We really need to get this thing out here because with this pandemic as well, and we just have to keep it real. It's just going to be here for a good little while.
Right, right.
And people need help out there. They need somebody to talk to, and it's people want to see people that they can relate to.
Like to.
I get a lot
Yeah.
of people in my inbox saying thank you, because some people don't like to come out and speak, and they don't want to feel like they're alone. So I take one for the team. I don't have anything to hide. I'm an open book. I kept secrets for so long. I don't have secrets anymore, and it's a newfound peace that I
I'm
don't
going
have
to
to
tell you
hide.
this. There is a lack of women of color sharing their stories of recovery.
It
And
is.
my mom's Mexican, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm white.
Mm-hmm.
And um, my dad's Italian, my mom's Mexican, but women of color, Black women specifically, I have the hardest time finding anybody in recovery that's not white,
There's
on
not a
YouTube, on
there's
Instagram, on Facebook, everywhere.
there's not a lot. We were discussing that too. It's a culture thing. Like, it's starting to be a little better, but that is a big culture thing. I've thought about that too. I have a few that's on my page, and there's starting to be more, but that is a big culture thing. And so I
Mhm.
agree with you on that.
Is it
Yeah.
because in your culture you guys are taught to kind of keep those, because in the Italian side and the Mexican side of things, it's looked at as a weakness, right? To be vulnerable
Mm-hmm.
and share like about being having an addiction. Is it like that
Yeah.
in your?
Yeah, and also, don't talk about it, kind of keep it to yourself, or you don't have a problem. I mean, there's people that when I was trying to tell people I had a problem, oh, you're fine, everybody drinks like that, and I'm just like, okay then. I
Right,
tried to reach out, but nobody saw it as a problem until I guess later. But yeah, it's something that needs to get out there too, I think, so more people can. It's a shame with it, you know what I mean? That's why
right.
I think I hit it, because I'm like, not telling people I'm an alcoholic, and I didn't want to stop drinking at an early age. I was like, I'm not going to be 20 something and can't drink. I don't want to do that. So I kept drinking. It's hard
Right, right.
to be young and sober. That would be very hard for me. So anybody who can do that now, I give them super props, because that is not easy.
Right, right.
But that's why
Totally.
I would like to talk to people about that. Like, you're not missing anything. Sober is the way to go.
I am so, again, I'm telling you, thank you so much for coming on tonight. I won't keep you on here forever because I'm long-winded. This is what I need you to do though. I need you to
Okay.
send me links to all your social medias, because
Okay.
I am going to link your social media in the description box of this video, in the
Okay.
comment section. And so in this video right now, it's live. We are live streaming on YouTube and Facebook. So you could actually go on Facebook and it's live right now. On YouTube, after we end, it'll take about 24 hours for it to upload, but it'll be up in the morning. YouTube takes forever to process the videos for some reason.
How do I do all that?
I'll show you. I'll help you.
Okay. Okay. And then then me and you will talk later about the podcasting too as well.
Yes. Thank you so much, Kree. I
Thank
had so much
you.
fun. Thank
I
you for
did
coming on for
too.
real.
And you have a good week.
You too, girl.
Okay,
I'm gonna
talk to you
text you
later.
now. Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, Miss Kree. Y'all, she has social media. Let me go get her Instagram because she has a pretty good size following on Instagram. So, dang, I would have never guessed, girl. I am blown away. You are like a young goddess. Share this profile. Hold on. Hold on, you guys. My dog, have y'all been hearing Jetta itch the whole time on the door? Go, girl, go. Okay. Let me get y'all her Instagram real fast so y'all can go follow her. Hey, Miss Impuritable Being, how are you doing? You know what, you guys? I have noticed that about women of color in the recovery community, and I just want you to know that here on my channel, I really do try hard, you guys, to make it like a well-rounded, diverse group of people. But I would be lying to you if I said it was easy, because for every 10 people that are sharing their story that are white, I find one person that is black, and that is just it's the truth. It is the straight up truth. But any black creators that want to come on my channel from Instagram, from Facebook, from YouTube, and share their story of recovery, hit me up. Like, I am an equal opportunity YouTuber, and I love supporting all people in all recovery, alcoholism recovery, addiction recovery, eating disorder recovery, physical, mental, emotional abuse recovery. If you have some recovery in your life, which most of us do, and you want to share your story, come on. Bring it on, honey. We would love to have you here. So I am going to wrap it up so that way we don't make the video too long. I hope you guys enjoyed Kree. We will have her back on again so that we can really chop it up and get into some story times and stuff. But I wanted to break the ice with her so that way she knew it's chill over here. So I love you guys, and I'll see y'all. Okay, so tomorrow I'm taking off. I'll see you guys Wednesday night. We are going to have a guest. Oh gosh, let me think. Kelly's coming on Wednesday night. Sorry, Kelly, I almost forgot your name. Kelly's going to be on Wednesday night, and then Friday night we will have our Mara meeting. So I'm going back to our Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule. Y'all, I'm sorry, I can't do every night anymore. It's just too much for me. So we're going to go back to our Monday, Wednesday, Friday. All right, love you guys.